welcome back. Today I'd like to do something a little bit different. As I'm shooting this, it's the day before Mother's Day, and I actually just graduated with my bachelor's degree today. So rather than just jumping right into working on the car, I'd like to switch it up and cover a little bit of scripture with you. And so today I'm going to be reading in John chapter 11, and I'm going to start right at verse 1, and we're going to read all the way through verse 44. This is the story of Lazarus. Lazarus was one of Jesus's closest friends, and Lazarus passed away, and Jesus being God, he knew this was happening. However, when he arrived, Lazarus had already been in the tomb, and this allowed Jesus to perform one of his miracles of actually bringing Lazarus back to life. So let's start right at chapter 11, verse 1 in the book of John. Now a man named Lazarus was sick. He was from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. This Mary, whose brother Lazarus now lay sick, was the same one who poured perfume on the Lord and wiped his feet with her hair. So the sisters sent word to Jesus, "Lord, the one you love is sick." When he heard this, Jesus said, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. Yet when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days. Then he said to the disciples, "Let us go back to Judea." "But Rabbi," they said, "a short while ago the Jews tried to stone you, and yet you're going back there?" Jesus answered, "Are there not 12 hours of daylight? A man who walks by day will not stumble, for he sees by this world's light. It is when he walks by night that he stumbles, for he has no light." After he said this, he went on to tell them, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him up." His disciples replied, "Lord, if he sleeps, he will get better." Jesus had been speaking of his death, but his disciples thought he meant natural sleep. So when he told them plainly, "Lazarus is dead, and for your sake I'm glad I was not there, so that you may believe, but let us go to him." Then Thomas, called Didymus, said to the rest of the disciples, "Let us also go, that we may die with him." On his arrival, Jesus found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem, and many Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them in the loss of their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to meet him, but Mary stayed at home. "Lord," Martha said to Jesus, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give whatever you ask." Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise again." Martha answered, "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies, and whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?" "Yes, Lord," she told him. "I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who has come into the world." And after she had said this, she went back and called her sister Mary aside. "The teacher is here," she said, "and is asking for you." When Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet entered the village, but was still at the place where Martha had met him. When the Jews who had been with Mary in the house, comforting her, noticed how quickly she got up and went out, they followed her, supposing she was going to the tomb to mourn there. When Mary reached the place where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come along with her also weeping, he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. "Where have you laid him?" he asked. "Come and see, Lord," they replied. Jesus wept. Then the Jews said, "See how he loved him?" But some of them said, "Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying?" Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. "Take away the stone," he said. "But Lord," said Martha, the sister of the dead man, "by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." Then Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you will always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me." When he said this, Jesus called out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. Jesus said to them, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." I wanted to read through that story today because today's a big day for me. I've been working hard on the car. You guys have been following along with this. And it's been down since last fall. It's been weighing heavy on me. But today is the day that we're going to fire it up. I know I've shared some of the progress with you guys. I've been working also behind the scenes, just trying to get it going. I've got a car show coming up here at the end of the month that this needs to be at. And then I'm planning on taking it to Indianapolis for the Olds Nationals in July. And so I really need to get this thing running. And I've been trying to keep my feet moving, but now's the day. This is the day I've been looking forward to since last fall, where we get to crank it and see what kind of a difference my work made, and see if this carburetor is going to fix the issue, be able to set the timing. Hopefully my vacuum will be good. It ran last fall, albeit I was having problems with it, but it did run. And so I've been praying, but I don't believe that there's any issues that I can foresee, that any reason why this wouldn't start up. Albeit we will probably have to make some adjustments with a brand new carb and some timing adjustments just due to the mess I was dealing with the old carb. So may not be as long of a video today, or it may be just as long, and we may get into some tuning, but I, like Jesus to Lazarus, I want to bring my friend back to life. And I believe that God gave me the wisdom and the tools to be able to put this car back together. And being that it was my graduation today, this is kind of my graduation present to myself. It's been a long time coming, and I'm super excited to hear this thing fire back off. So let me get you back over by the car, and we can go for it. I mean, I really just want to hear it fire. So, all right. Okay, well, I've got the timing light hooked up. I got my my remote starter hooked up. Got a vacuum gauge hooked up. My timing light connected. We've got 12 volts in our battery, which is good. I'm going to fill these float bowls up. I did not hook up the electric choke yet, but that shouldn't matter to get it fired off. Let's see if that's enough fuel in there. Click the key on. All right, we got power. Let's see if she'll spark off. Oh yeah, you want to go, don't you? Okay, let me bump that timing just a little bit. All right, well, she smoked me out. It did fire up. It ran, so I know it will run, which makes me feel a whole lot better. But I totally forgot to shove my fan in front of it so I could blow some of this exhaust fumes out while I was trying to mess with the carb and adjust the timing. So looks like we might be done for today, but that's fine. All I wanted to do was hear it spark to life, which it did, and I can come back later now. I can set the timing. I can hook up that choke. It seems like it was struggling a little bit there. Maybe it doesn't even need the choke, but since I have it on an electric choke, it's going to stay closed until that coil heats up. So I may need to hook that up. And yeah, just go through and tweak the settings on it. To be honest, I don't even know where this carb is set at yet. I just wanted to hear it spark off. So I need to do my basic setup on it now and make some adjustments from there. And then we'll see what we got after that. But that's probably going to wrap me up for today. It's been a long day already. And now I'm preparing for Mother's Day tomorrow, but since I know this will run again, and now it's just getting it tuned in. So I feel real good about what I was able to do, and I appreciate you guys so very much. Check out the next video. We'll get into some of that carb tuning, and we'll take it for a ride. I still got to hook up the power steering, but those are the last two things I got to do before we can take it back out on the road. So again, appreciate you so very much. If you like the content, if you want to see more with the car, you want to see me do some smoky burnouts, which is what I want to see happen, not this smoke from my exhaust in the shop, then yeah, just hit like on the hit like, subscribe, click on that notifications bell, and yeah, I'll see you all again in the next video. Thanks and have a blessed day.